White people are learning the United States is not what it used to be, or at least what they were told to be. They are learning that they were lied to. They were lied to about everything. They were lied to about how life should be. And I want to tell you something. Normally, I do give reference to like what happened during the Bacon's Rebellion. So if you understand the reality of how white people were lied to, of how they were the most played group of people, because tell me what, upfront, Black people knew that the United States was never for them. But this was never the same case with white people. As time went by, white people came to learn that they were played. And this is why I'm saying that they were played. They were played. So there is this something called meritocracy, right? Meritocracy states that if you work hard, you're going to achieve everything that you ever worked hard for. Now, the reality of the matter is that this was never the same with white people. I mean, with black people. Black people had to struggle. Now, an average black person has to work hard 3 times so that they can get a spot of a mediocre white person. And then the white person will say that, you know what, pull yourself by the bootstraps. You're not doing hard enough. This is what you should be doing. Maybe you're not putting in the work. You black people, you are lazy, and so on and so forth. Those were the words that were being said by these other groups of people, especially white people. Now, fast forward to what is happening to 21st century. People are learning that, indeed, America was never great. It was never great for black people. Now, the never great for black people is not great now for white Americans. And today, we are seeing them crying and they're waking up to the reality that everything that they were told, majority of all these things that they were told, they were all lies. White people are just learning that they were lied, they were sold lies. All those things that they were promised that will happen, all those great things they thought that will one day happen, they are realizing that they were all lies. Brothers and sisters, I want us to watch this video and then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my 2 cents in regards to this. So let's watch the video. I'll be back.
Can I be honest with you? I'm tired. Can I just be very real with you? I'm gonna be very real with you, okay? You might be like, ew. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm tired. I'm tired of everything I thought that was good in this country growing up not being what it actually is. I'm tired of everything not being what it was told to me to be. I'm tired of the fact that I served in the military, okay? I went overseas, I protected the poppy fields in Afghanistan, and guess what? That's all I was really there for. I wasn't there for any type of real patriotic anything. I was there to subjugate a Middle Eastern country, probably on the behest of another Middle Eastern country. I'm tired of finding out everything about my food has been a lie to me. I'm tired of figuring out everything about our government has been a lie. I'm tired of figuring out that sports, something that I love at the professional level, is just a giant circus. They just want you to bet. They just want you to drink. They just want you to spend money. I'm tired of every single moment of my life being treated like it's just like I'm a walking pay stub for them. Every moment I'm being marketed to, every moment my data is being utilized so that ads can be more perfect to give a higher likelihood that maybe I will purchase now or in the future. I hate that everything's becoming a subscription. I hate that the tech bros are slowly winning and turning this into a tech surveillance state. I'm tired that everything politically is so divided that no one can even talk about it without getting angry. I'm tired that we can't make any progress. I'm tired that we can't get on the same page. I'm tired that we've seen everything happen since the Epstein list. We have plenty of reason to do something about this as a people, and nothing has happened, myself included. I'm tired of not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, guys. I'm tired of not being able to come on here and tell you, look, housing prices are going to come down to X because of Y. Hey, they created this new affordable product here to help people to be able to travel, and they're going to take care of this, that, and the third. Or, hey, they actually fixed wages. You're going to be able to work hard and make good money and make a lifestyle for you here in America. It's only going to take 3 years. Here's the plan. Like, I wish they had that. I wish there was legislation that was coming out about term limits, age limits, insider trading, getting corporate and federal, or corporate and country... corporate and foreign. Lobbying out of our Congress. I wish to God I could get on here and tell you that they destabilized the carried interest loophole, that 20 and 2 is gone for private equity. I wish I could tell you that they reinstated Glass-Steagall, that they got rid of this 2004 margin rule change, that Citizens United's been overturned. I wish I could tell you these things. And we know that they need to be done. We know that the greedflation, because of unfettered corporate spend and greed since COVID, led us to a world where this K-shaped economy feels like the bottom shape of the K is dying financially. And the top side of the top 10% of the economy that's doing good since COVID, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people, by the way. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a Nepo baby. I earned it, but like, I'm one of those people. I can still see those people struggling though. I'm still trying to do what I can to help that person. I don't do enough. I can do more. I can volunteer more at like a food bank. I could get more involved in my local community, local politics, local boards. I could do more. We could all do more to help our fellow man. But why is it we're watching our fellow man have the rug pulled out from under them? We're yelling that the rug has been pulled out from under them, and everyone's like, why are you being so political? I just want people to be able to survive, eat food, and have a shelter. I don't want people to go bankrupt because of a hospital bill. I don't want someone to have to work 3 jobs to get by. I don't want a single mom to think it's impossible. I don't want 12% of under 30-year-olds to not be married or have a kid. I don't want everyone to just rent something and be happy. That's not fun. Having a garden's fun. Being able to play with your kids in the backyard is fun. Painting your house pink if you want is fun. Okay? I want us to be able to have fun in our life. I want us to be able to live this life and enjoy this life and love the people around us and bring up real community and have real friends and have real connections and not be socially distanced and not be just kept behind these screens all the time. I want to connect. I know you want that maybe too. I want my family and my daughter to walk into a labor market that isn't controlled by robots and AI running around everywhere. They're shooting lasers. Like, I don't want this future lily paths toward economic totalitarianism that we are on. We are on a path where they will continue to divide us between blue and red until they have all the green. I'm tired of learning that they know exactly what's going on in our economy and they fail to do anything about it. I hate the fact that the next time our economy wobbles, they're just going to bail out banks and print money. I hate it. I hate it all the way down to the founding of the country. There's so much that is corrupt and it just institutionally bad. And we're seeing it now in real time, maybe because of social media and the internet. Maybe just because of social media and the internet. Because since the central banking epidemic that happened from 1907 into 1913 that led into the Great New Deal, the Bretton Woods Agreement, the Nixon shock, and then getting into, you have the Powell Memo and the Fair Credit Act Union and around that time, and then you have Reaganomics, and then you have NAFTA, and then you have Glass-Steagall, all the way up to the 2008 housing crash, Citizens United, like walking through all of it. It's like, wow, we've really been on this path of totalitarianism for some time. And now it's like we're realizing it. Now it's like we're finally seeing it come to light. We want to stop it. We don't know how. I'm not saying I have the solution, but man, I get tired of watching day by day people get just a fire under their butt for we need to make change, only to see that change not come to fruition, only to see that group that they were a part of fall apart, only to see the energy dilapidate from what was originally something that was very strong. And I think there's a lot of energy right now that is sitting as stagnant energy in this country that could be turned into kinetic energy if we move together as one. If we started to grow together, if we started to come together with ideas, with movements, with ways that we can actually just connect at a human level and understand at a human level that we can do better for each other as humans.
Guys, the American dream is dead. I recently had a client that sold his business, and he sold it to private equity. And what he told me was mind-blowing. So he sold it to private equity, and he said if he didn't sell it now, he wouldn't be able to sell it in the future. And he also won't be able to compete because what they're doing is they're buying up all the small construction companies and sourcing materials cheaper than anybody else. So in effect, if you want to start a business and you don't have one already, you won't be able to compete with them. So the idea of going out and creating a business, creating something from nothing, doesn't exist because you won't be able to get materials. You won't be able to get the basics to start a business cheaper than what the private equity company can get. And that means that you can't go out and start a business because private equity is going to control the market. And it's not for anything other than they have these rich elite assholes have nothing better to invest in. They can't find a different investment other than to buy the small companies, buy the little guys, and control them so that your children won't be able to start a business. So yeah, the idea of starting a business, creating something from nothing, the American dream, is no longer a thing. Have a good day.
Everything is so expensive right now, and I don't understand how people aren't talking about it. We don't make enough money. Collectively, we do not make enough money. The price of things are not keeping up with how much we're getting paid. And it's infuriating to me for people to say that people just need to work harder, people need to get different specialized degrees, people need to start their own businesses. That's not the answer. The answer is that billionaires are hoarding wealth. And this system is set up to fail. And I'm just infuriated by it. I can't get ahead. Every month I try to get ahead and I can't get ahead. And I don't know how to cope with that. I don't know how to cope with that. Everything is so expensive, especially in the last 6 months. I can barely get by. So I don't know how I'm supposed to retain hope. Am I supposed to get a doctorate so that I can afford a studio apartment? Is that where we're getting to at this point? I don't know what the answer is to this, but it's so fucking bad. And I just wanted to get on here and tell you, if you are experiencing the same thing, you're so not alone. Everything is so expensive and it's infuriating to me.
I don't understand how everyone's affording so much stuff in life, and my husband and I just seem to be skating by. And I mean, I'm not complaining. We are very, very lucky, but it just feels like I'm missing something. I don't know if I'm not making enough money, but everybody around us seems to have big homes that they're buying, very expensive homes, cars, very expensive cars, vacations, dinners out, boats, weekends away, stuff they're just always buying, they're always doing. And I know everybody says oh, well, they're probably in credit card debt, but I just can't wrap my head around that. They are making a ton of money and I don't know what we're doing wrong. My husband works a full-time job, I work a full-time job, we both have part-time jobs, I do extra things. What are we doing wrong? And how can I make more money? That's all I want to know.
Okay, real quick. To my kids and my grandkids, I'm sorry that you have to grow up in this world right now. I was born in the 60s. I'm Generation X. I'm old Generation X. I was born in 1965, and that's when it starts. So I was 5 years old when 1970 came around, and I remember when I was 5. I remember when I was 4. I remember 1969. Before that, I don't remember much, just little flashes. But then in the 70s, I grew up in the 70s. The world, I think we were still in Vietnam. But for us kids, we didn't care. We weren't thinking about it. But it was a great time. The Christmases and all the whole family, the cousins. And there's no technology. The holidays were magical. Our parents were great. The cars were awesome. The music was awesome. And then I became a teenager. 1980s. That was the best decade in my lifetime. The music, the big hair, the roller skating, the friendships, the movies. I could go on and on and on. It was the best. We weren't worried about anything. McDonald's was a treat. We weren't eating that every day. We were eating home-cooked meals every day. High school. Yeah, it's tough for some kids, but for me, it was high school. It wasn't nothing big. We had friends and we had a great time. I played some sports. And I was no big guy on campus though, but I had my girlfriends and my first loves and all that. And it was just a wonderful time. It was the best. And the 90s came around and now I'm growing up. And it was still a decent life, still good, but we had to grow up, And then the 2000s came around, and by this time I'm in my mid-30s. And I finally had to find a career and stop playing around and be a dad, be responsible. And all through the 2000s until now, until COVID, right around when COVID hit, it was okay. It was good, it was okay. But now, with the right and the left, the separation of people, it's just, I feel in my heart that evil has swept up in this world. I'm a Christian. I do believe Jesus Christ is coming back very soon. But I hope it's sooner than later, because I don't want my kids and my grandkids living in this world anymore. This world sucks right now. It really does. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all you young people. Not being able to buy a house. Yeah. It wasn't like this for us. It was not like this. And as OG Gen X, I apologize that it's come down to this. We didn't mean for this to happen, but it is what it is. So, stay strong. Try to forgive, and look to God to make your life better, and do what you can. We're trying to help you as much as possible. Good luck.
We're here again. We're here again. I'm a licensed therapist of 22 years, and things in the US couldn't possibly be worse. Let me give you an example, okay? So today I happened to be sitting in my own waiting room. I own a group practice, and there were probably 8 to 9 people sitting in the waiting room waiting for their appointments. And one person happened to start a conversation, which almost never happens in the waiting room. Most people just sit there kind of silently waiting for their clinician. But this person started off a conversation, and it sparked this whole thing about how depressed and anxious and broke everyone is. And that therapy, while great and helpful and wonderful, is barely scratching the surface. I could relate to everything that everybody was saying in my waiting room. Everything is bad. And I'm not exaggerating. This is not hyperbolic. Our healthcare, our taxes, our grocery prices, gas costs are unaffordable. We cannot afford to live in this country unless you're in the top percent. The average person in the US cannot afford to exist. I'm not totally sure how we dig out of this hole. All I know is that we sounded the alarm bells. We are here in spite of that. And it is awful. It's awful.
It seems like things continue just to go down this negative spiral here in the United States and in many parts of the world. We see that we're losing our freedoms. We are losing, just realism with the growth of technology. I mean, it's almost like we're living in a fake world now. Everything is starting to feel fake. I turn on the TV and half of the things I see are fake nowadays. Social media is becoming increasingly fake. No wonder people are just losing so much interest in everything. And then coupled with, our wages that are not keeping up and the cost of living that is just getting more and more difficult everywhere. And we are continuously losing trust in the systems that are built all around us. It is no wonder that things continue to feel just like a whole foreign world since 2020. I don't know about you, but because of all of this, we have had the conviction to just kind of try and separate ourselves from as much as possible of the crazy world that we are in. And we are really working hard to break free of these systems and to just live on land and try and become more and more independent, and just operate within, like parallel networks, community. And it's not easy. It really isn't, but you have to get started somewhere, and it's not going to be perfect. It's not always going to be fun, but it's something that if you have the conviction to do, you really should be doing it, because time is going by regardless. And you either could be a little bit more ahead tomorrow, or you could be in the same place, or potentially even a little bit more behind. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you being here. I really do. And I hope to catch you in the next one, guys. Take care.
So hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Again, I'm your host and presenter Agentic Stories. Now, this is a wake-up call, and this is a wake-up call for, majority of white people. I'm not saying that black people are not going through all these things, but this is a bubble that is being bursted. Yes, white people, the reality check that they are having is busting their bubbles to what they believed to be the United States. Well, I want to say that black people had already seen the realities, all these realities that existed in the United States. And so they know, as a matter of fact. But this was never the same with white people. And so as time goes by, they get to realize that majority of the things that they were told, majority of the things that they were promised was all but a lie. We call it meritocratic lies. And Trump was here to make it happen because he's serving the elites instead of American people's interest. White people are just waking up into this reality. And I said, and I'm going to say it again, when I'm saying this, I'm not saying that black people are not going through stuff. But what I'm saying is that white people are waking up to the reality that black people have been living the same type of life that you're complaining about. Black people have been going through all these struggles that you right now are talking about, including black veterans that fought for the United States. But what did America pay them for? Remember, they promised them an acre and a mule, but later on, after giving them an acre and a mule, they came and took it forcefully away from black people. Now, as usual, I always like, speaking and sharing people's thoughts in regards to like what really happened, because people's thoughts really are important in enhancing, helping me, see other people's perspective from a different angle. Now, somebody saying that by Miss America Pie, it wasn't our fault. It's the corrupt governments and corrupt CEOs. America is occupied by parasites. One question, this is a good comment, but one question I would like to ask is that who put those corrupt governments and corrupt CEOs? The people that right now you're calling parasites, who put them in those seats? Well, you are the ones who put them in those seats. And now it's coming back to you. You're getting to see the reality of things and how things are moving. You don't believe what is really happening to you. That's what is happening. Right. Now, somebody also came and said that the greedy pig businessmen and politicians will one day be eaten alive by this monster of a system they created. It's true. At the end of the day, America needs a revolution. And a revolution doesn't come. A revolution doesn't come that way easy. Because I think that you need to appeal more to black people and other marginalized groups and come up together and say that, you know what, we are putting our differences down and we have learned our lessons and we are ready to remove this person with these horns or with these fruits, right? Um, Somebody said that the Gen X veteran and I don't recognize my country and how much suffering and struggling or spending like the bill will never come due and educated by hate and ignorance. That's all about America. It's all about profits. Because at the end of the day, the middle class American will I mean there is a fight against the middle class American. They will always make you to be or to remain in the middle class or where you are. That's what they want. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they want you to have, right? There is no stability anymore. The billionaires keep pulling the rug out from under us. I want to take you back to the Bacons Rebellion. As usually I say, I want to take you back to the Bacons Rebellion. See, when you benefited from the same elites that right now are ripping off everything that you own, you kept quiet. You remained complacent. When black people were going through all those struggles, you decided to keep quiet because it was not affecting you. But right now, you're seeing the reality of the matter. And you are just asking yourself, why was I silent when black people were going through all these things? It is time for you to start thinking in a different way, to start seeing the reality of the matter, right? Somebody said that if we don't return to the gold standard and eliminate all debt, we are doomed. It's all illegal. Thomas Jefferson said, if American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks and corporations will grow up around them, will deprive the people of all property until the children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. It's really sad that America is being run with people that only focuses on profits. They don't give a damn about them. It has always been profits. It has always been profit for this group of people. And now when the reality sets, they get to see the truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter is, you were never that special. You were never that special to them, right? Somebody's sharing here. I work 46 hours a week. I make 13 bucks an hour. It is Sunday. I will not eat another meal until Tuesday. Damn. When my payroll directs deposits, my bills are paid. There was nothing left to buy food with. I'm so effing angry right now, and I work hard and pay taxes. It's really crazy. You can see the life that all these people are living, right? But that's caused by the corporate greed. So it's good to call them out. That's the corporate greed for you. And that's what usually happens, right? So this is the last comment that I'm going to be reading. We live in the twilight zone. Great destroyed America. Insurance companies charge whatever they want. Government and state, you have to have insurance to drive. Well, the insurance companies know that, and they screw us every year, not every single month. Well, ours and the wagon looks pretty good right now. Get my portable AC with solar and a ride free. I don't know. People are finding ways of, fighting all this crazy economy that is being caused by the elite, the top 1% of America, who owns 99% of the properties in America. That's crazy. You can see the margin. It's so big. These are the insurance companies. These are all these groups of people that owns and controls all factors of production. So brothers and sisters, I don't really know what you all think about this, but let me know what you think about this, right? As you know, I'm your host and presenter Engineering Stories, but until then, I'm hoping to see you on my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.